it's Shannon B for Brown Girl Bella. Hello, all my Bellas out there and my bargain Bellas. Today is all about palettes. I'm going to share with you what I do and how I look for palettes to buy. There are two main things that I look for in a palette. One is, does it have the colors that I normally would wear? And those colors are browns and grays and some blues. And then two, does it have any extra colors that I would wear? So those are oranges, purples, pinks, lavenders, lilacs, you name it. So those are the types of palettes that I normally would gravitate to. There are other colors in the spectrum that I really like, but I mainly look for those that have those types of colors that I would either wear or I would like to wear. So those are the two main things that I look for. Also, when I'm choosing a palette, I like to look for nudes first because those are the ones that I use for every day. So there's a couple of nude palettes that I have that I want to share with you. Not all of these, well, all of these palettes are more of the mid-range to higher end, but if you like these, I can also share with you some palettes that are a little bit more affordable for my bargain bellas, and those are the ones that you can definitely get for a cheaper price than these palettes. First one I'm going to share with you is Bobbi Brown. As you can see, this is very loved. This was her Shimmering Nudes palette. Not sure if it's out still, but as you can see, I love this palette so much so I've already hit pan on two. And what hitting pan means is just that you've used up the majority of the eyeshadow and now you hit the pan where the eyeshadow sits in. So that's what hitting pan means for all of you guys who have maybe heard that term and didn't know what that meant. That's what it means. So that's Bobbi Brown. I also have a higher end one from Marc Jacobs that I love. This is their Lolita. And again, you'll find the same types of colors because these are the colors that I gravitate to for everyday looks. Browns, shimmering pinks, shimmering nudes, and matte nudes. So those are the types of colors that I use for every day. I think I have one more palette to share with you on nudes. And let's see if I can find that. Here it is. So this one is by Morphe, and this is a nude palette as well. And again, same deal with the colors. And for me, my personal preferences, I like to get a mixture of not only shimmers, but also matte colors because that's going to help me with the transition color. I also like to have a palette that I can fit comfortably in one hand because if I'm traveling, I like to make sure that I can, hold my brush in one hand, hold the palette comfortably in another hand so that I can do my makeup, especially if I'm traveling, like I said, and I'm in a hotel room and I need to do my makeup rather quickly so I can get out the door. So that's what I like in nudes. I also want to share with you that I also like to have palettes that have a mirror to it. So the Marc Jacobs does have a mirror, so that is helpful. And the Bobbi Brown that I shared with you as well, that one has, oops, let me open it again. That one also had a mirror to it. So that helps you also when you're putting on makeup that you don't have to necessarily be sitting in front of a vanity mirror. You can do it on the fly as well. So those are my nudes that I love. And if you like that but don't like the price tag, I can tell you that Maybelline has a nudes palette that is very reasonably priced, one, and two, has the similar colors in it that I just shared with you. So if you like these colors and you want something for every day and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money for it, I would definitely suggest that you grab that Maybelline palette because it really is phenomenal. I actually ordered it myself. It just hasn't arrived yet. So that will also be in my arsenal moving forward. Okay, so now as you can see, I like also to experiment with color. I threw this on just because I'm sick of showing you guys the basic everyday look. I wanted to do something a little bit bright, but still wearable, not for every day, but wearable to go out. But if you like bold colors and you like to experiment with those colors, then here's some that I would suggest for you. First and foremost, let's go back to Marc Jacobs because he had a phenomenal range of colors. This is called the Tease. And you'll see here, there's some purples, there's some matte colors, and as well, there are some darker shimmer shades as well. So this is a look that you can definitely play with. You can do you know, some wild colors. You can also, you know, use them to smoke out your eye and do a smoky look. But really have fun and play with those colors. The other one that I like for color in a wide range, again, doesn't have a mirror, but I still love it. It's the Morphe times Kathleen Lights. And again, this has a lot of different colors to it. They're very pigmented. There's a wide range. You can do a lot of different looks to it. And it really does the job. It really does what it's supposed to do, which is be a nice range of colors for the eye. Another thing you want to look for when you're doing your palette looks and shopping for different palettes is you want to make sure that the palette is pigmented. So you hear a lot of people talk about pigmentation on their channels, and you hear me talk about it as well. What that means is that the colors will last. They're vibrant. They're not going to skip on you. And as you can see, this color is starting to skip a little bit. And I'm going to share with you what that is. So on my eyes, I'm using the Violet Voss times Nicole Concealio. This palette has a very wide range of colors, as I mentioned before. Has a mirror, which I love as well. But the colors here, some of them are not as pigmented. So the two colors that I have on my eyes to start, I have Pizza. I'm just going to pick up that color. So that's Pizza. And then on my other finger, I'm going to put Mars. Okay, so that's Pizza and Mars. Those are two orange colors. And I'm just going to show you on the back of my hand what I'm talking about. You see, when I first started swiping, that color is very pigmented. And then as I got to the middle, there's no color or hardly any color. That's what skipping does. So skipping means that there's a deposit of color when you first swipe, but as you keep going through that swipe, less product is being distributed. So that means that you're going to have a lot of bald patches as you are doing your eye looks. That also means as you are layering the color, and see the other color, Pizza, does the same thing. That also means as you're layering the colors, you're going to have to do a lot more swipes to get the color to deposit evenly. And even still, I did 2 swipes of each eye, and you can see here that there's a patch here where the color is not deposited. So that means that the color is not as pigmented as the other colors. Now, that's not to say that this palette is bad, because there are some other colors that are very pigmented and do last. I'm going to show you Hangry. And so Hangry, as you can see, the swatch stayed the same throughout. So that's a very pigmented color. You also want a black in your colors palette, and I'm going to share with you the black. And again, that's very pigmented and it goes throughout the swatch. Black is great for palettes with a lot of color because again, you can do smoky eye looks with this palette. You can use it to do a nudes look because you're going to have some shades with less vibrant colors. And you see that there's a bunch here to do that look with. So you want a palette like this with a bunch of different colors and different shade ranges so that you can do a lot of different looks with it. And if you have a black, that can act as your eyeliner. It can act as, you know, the smoky eye look. You can put that on and really, you know, just go for your nighttime looks. So that's great for a palette to have that wide a range. But again, you want to make sure with that wide range that the colors you choose will last. So having the ability to swatch on the back of your hand or on the inside of your wrist really will help you out in choosing those colors and making sure that the colors that you're getting in this palette will stay on, because if they last on the back of your hand and the back of your inside of your wrist, then they're going to last on your eyes as well. Another thing to look out for when you're choosing a palette is fallout. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by fallout. So using this color here from the Modern Renaissance, this is Regular. I'm going to dip my brush in, and then I'm going to share with you. You see that dust and that color is picking up? That's called fallout. And what that means is every time you swipe, it is taking away product. The more product buildup, not only is it messy when you're doing this and have this kind of issue with the product falling out of the pan and then getting onto your palette, making it, you know, dirty, but also every swipe is taking away that product, as I mentioned. And so you're going to hit pan. Remember from the first palette, you're going to hit pan a lot sooner because the more you're swiping, the more product is being taken away that's not going onto your eyes. So it's not benefiting you because it's not going onto your eyes, it's just falling out of the palette. So that's what we mean by fallout. Flip side, you also want to make sure when you're getting a palette that the range of colors meet your needs. And what I mean by that is, this is a beautiful color palette by NYX of eyeshadows. However, I'll just use this color. And again, swatching on the back of my hand. You see that? It's really kind of ashy. So that's not going to be flattering on my eye because, as you can see, there's no real pigment here and it makes my skin look dull and lifeless. So that's not something that you want on your eye. Again, not saying that this palette is bad because there are tons of other colors in here that are good, but you want a palette where the good colors far outweigh the bad colors. So if you pick up a palette with one or two shades that are bad, it's not necessarily a bad palette because you've got tons other shades to choose from. But you want to make sure that you don't have a whole palette with colors like this. So that hopefully will help you in terms of how to choose a eye palette that works for you. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this makeup off and I will be back with you guys soon. Don't forget, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Also, don't forget to tap that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload. And last but not least, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot and it helps me to give you the content that you want. Until next time, it's your girl Shannon B for Brown Girl Bella, giving you lips, lashes, and luxury. And don't forget, guys, you can stick around and watch some other videos, and also click that subscribe button if you're not already in the Bella fam. Till next time, see you later.